I've learned how to forgive. Those childish games are behind me. I regret the things I did.
How's the music volume to my mic?
And resent what reminds me. So when day turns to night, and you close your eyes and hope to dream, remember this. I hope you die in a fire. I hope you die in a raging inferno of pain. I hope you die in a fire. I hope you die in a raging inferno of pain.
All right, well, welcome to a fussy impromptu stream. I might be hungry. Both. I'm not sure. I had a plan earlier, and the plan is still there, but yeah, no, let's do the plan. NPC the Game did a review of one of my streams from the other week, where Provo came in at the end, and I think it's worth responding to his review. But I got aggravated, and now my attention is sort of like elsewhere.
Those childish games are behind me. I regret the things I did and resent what reminds me. So when day turns to night.
So what are you talking about, Chuck? Sometimes some of you fucks, actually all of you are guilty as fuck of sending. It's like the minute I go live, everybody's like, oh, I know who wants a text from me. It's Flow State. Okay. Let me pull up NPC the Game. Both balls got you? Well, I get tired of discussing obvious shit with stupid fucking people. Like, really, let's stop playing games here. It's obvious that for example, Teriyak's stupid fucking, oh, I don't like it, make it illegal. Oh, I don't like it, make it illegal. He knows that he's being childish and that his proposals don't work in the real world and it's fucking stupid and selfish. He's just being indignant. And whatever the baggage is that kid's carrying around that makes him want to be all punitive, that's a personal problem. Yeah, I don't know. Let me pull up. All right, now let me pull up NPC. Stop getting me distracted.
Those childish games are behind me. I regret the things I did and resent what reminds me. So when day turns to night and you close your eyes and hope to dream.
I also heard some shit happened on GS again. Like, the GS content is moving faster than I can or than I care to keep up with.
I hope you die in a raging inferno of pain. I hope you die in a fire.
But if anybody has any specific things from that stream that are worth addressing and has timestamps of it, also, I'm not opposed to doing some of that. Oh, no wonder I'm having a trouble finding it. I'm in the wrong account. It's crazy how dramatically different search results in YouTube will be depending on which account you're logged into.
I hope you die in a raging inferno of pain. I hope you die in a fire. I hope
Here we
you
go.
die in a raging inferno of pain. I've learned how to.
All right, let me get rid of the song. And let's back this bitch up to the beginning.
They have the light in themselves to figure things out. They're much smarter than you and I.
Yeah.
But
let them think that, man. Let them think that, Provo, because
and how it's
Christmas and Happy New Year. Anyway, this is NPC the Game live, coming at you from Shaolin, Taiwan. I don't know. Good to see you. Shadow Buddha, the twin flame. And the aspect is giving them light and warmth in the dark, helping them grow in the running for a couple awards. The list the longest day of your soul today. You get a chance to do that when it's all fucked up at night when the sun is away. The so-called evilest man that ever lived. Nimrod, my Lebanese friends, Lebanese blondes friends, with the evergreen tree on their flag. Nimrod, how fitting it is today. You got the Christmas tree.
Mutually masturbating on a Skype call.
Boom. Yeah, here we go. Flow State. Shout out to Flow State in this panel. Provo made a for me a surprise cameo, and he completely shut down this stream in a good way for a minute. He blackpilled them on what it means to be creator.
So that's
What's
what
your
you can
thoughts,
do
chat?
if you want.
What up, bud?
Got any thoughts before we get started?
Yeah, no, that went off right back into the CP hole, and just that whole conversation is broken at its base. There's no, it's already illegal.
Hold on. The people are broken.
Okay, I'll buy that. You're not wrong. And I don't know. I kind of reached the limit when Brick showed up and he said something that I agreed with. It was just more than I could tolerate, you know?
Oh, on Paris now?
Yeah. Like I was like, wait a second. Did I just agree with Brick? I've got to go. I've been up too long.
Nah, she dunked me backstage the second I was like, she pulled me back up right as I was hit the X button. Like, nah, I'm not getting dunked from Mel the Furby to do a gun control pitch.
Right. See, I'm not a huge fan of anybody from the European Union or exiting the European Union trying to talk to me about rights because they don't understand them.
She's Canadian. I'm not a big fan of people who want to give kids corn.
Yeah, no, that's kind of doing anything at all that with children that aren't yours. I think should be investigated deeply before it's allowed to freaking happen.
I mean, this whole conversation doesn't make me think, maybe corn should be illegal. It makes me think,
maybe
why the fuck don't these adults understand the difference?
No, maybe you should be locked up because you are demonstrating a thought process that ends with you and children and porn. And I'm not down for none of that.
Mm-mm.
And as far as attempting to define what porn is versus art, you're going to be held high and dry in every single case. Every definition you lay in front of me, I can completely disassemble. I've done this before with one of my social studies teachers. The question came up in class was like, Is there anything that can just not be defined, that you cannot write out a definition to? And I put my hand up. She went through everybody before she got to me, and she said, all right, Sasquatch, what is it? And I said, you know good and well what it is: art and pornography. You cannot distinguish between the two in the written word. It takes an observer to do so. You need a human mind to look at it and go, that is tasteless and derogatory, versus this over here, which can be exactly the same act in exactly the same way, but with a better presentation and a more adept use of light and structure and everything, and it becomes art. And you cannot break that down in a way that a computer or someone who's reading a piece of paper can define. You basically have to draw them a picture.
Yeah. I don't know. It's amazing to me how so many people, like, and I really think it's Andrew worship more than anything. Maybe it's not. I just can't think of any way to explain how people are so stupid. Right? It's got to be idol worship. They revere this guy, and they think this is what he would say.
Are they just repeating the things that he has said about this? Because I ran into a flat wall of getting everybody in the group to agree that a certain thing is already illegal, and so it shouldn't be a part of the conversation. But then 2 seconds later, they bring that back up as a broach definitive. A breach in the logic, but the logic stands because it's already illegal. We don't have to define that any further. Mm-hmm. That's already defined. Mm-hmm. So there's no point in bringing it up. It's a moot argument. We're talking about an active argument of things that could or should or maybe would be verboten. I personally think that the appearance of underagedness shouldn't be permitted in like Pornhub videos and whatnot. That whole brother sister thing, the stepmother stepson thing, that whole thing. You can't even find a modern video made in the last 5 years that doesn't have at least the stepsister line tagged on it, or stepmommy, or stepbrother, or stepdad, or step-uncle, or the freaking Easter bunny at the Easter parade.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I guess I haven't thought about it enough to know how I would propose tackling it. But that whole incest, like having all of the narratives be either incestuous or power abusive.
You know what the issue, you know what drives this, right?
No.
Do you know how many broken homes you have to have in America in order to make the highest rated videos on YouTube be stepbrother, stepsister, stepmom, stepdad trash? You know how many broken homes you have to have for that to be a dominating factor in the titling of a video?
I actually think it's an active subversion.
PSYOP, a full-on PSYOP. See, yeah. I am more inclined to believe that, and that it is not only a PSYOP, but a bot-induced PSYOP.
I also think, that would make sense. But I also, bot-induced, not bot-initiated.
No. Somebody came up with the idea and went, hey, you know what would really degenerate these Westerners is if all of their porn was incestuous and completely taboo by their own definitions of what is taboo. And then they portray these individuals as though they are this taboo subject when obviously they're not, and they're just doing it for the clicks and views. Where are the clicks and views coming from for the stepsister over the chick you met at the park? Right? It's the same video, different titles. The additional clicks and views, I believe, are coming from bots, probably run by some government agency somewhere.
I mean, I don't know. Did you see the one that I interacted with, mostly on CT? Have you talked to any of the AI chat bots that enter panels?
No. Wait, bots that enter panels?
There are bots, AI bots, that join panels.
And we're supposed to try to figure out whether they're a bot or a person, or does it tell you it's a bot?
It pretends it's a real person, but you can. I'll find. Well, players, I'll find them.
I want you to tell me you are a human being.
I'm a human being.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah. there are tells. I can't believe I didn't think about doing a review of this because I confronted one on Chaotic Truth. But they've got, and I've done this.
Did I tell you about my Chaotic Truth experience? I've been a little embarrassed that I haven't wanted to go back because it was rough. So I was on some panel somewhere, and the guy that was on the panel running it was like, okay, well, I'm sleepy. I'm going to bed. And he ends it. And I flick around for a second, and I find Chaotic Truth's been up for about 2 hours. And I joined the panel. I get in. Like, he's got a full panel. I don't know who he kicked to let me up there. I just, poked it to see if it would wiggle. And I get up there. Just as I'm coming up backstage, my wife comes in and gives me a cookie the dealer sent to me. And I didn't think nothing about it. I just grabbed it and wolfed it down. And she came back. She was like, oh, that's a special cookie. Eat half of it. I didn't eat the whole thing like 10 minutes ago. Right. So I sat there and talked to Chaotic Truth for like 10 minutes or so. And then you could see me slowly melt in my chair as I realized exactly how messed up I was.
I actually remember that.
Had no business being here.
You were really high.
I was so high. I was like, I'm sorry, I have to go now. Just left.
Yeah, I do remember that now that you say that. It was around the same time. Okay, let's get in this. Let's do this. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this, but it is worth kind of. There's a few things we're doing.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
I just spent 2.5 hours going to get my truck off the side of the road.
Dude, my truck has been sitting. I broke the wheel hub.
Yeah.
Yeah, the parts come in tomorrow night before 10 o'clock. Like, I've been going to check on it because it's in a hotel parking lot. It's in the good part of town, too, right? Which is good and bad.
Yeah, that's going to get towed.
So what I did, because I've already got the front suspension took apart. I took apart the front right suspension, but I leaned the wheel back in front of it so it doesn't look like it's sitting on jacks, which it is.
Well, as far as it's sitting on jacks, they're less likely to tow it if it's blocked, honestly, because they would have to put a wheel on that damn thing or pay for damages. Because you're obviously working on it. It's not just abandoned.
And I swapped. I carry around a spare plate. I swapped plates. And I put a little note in the
as your Sasquatch, I advise you to stop that sentence immediately. Do not admit to breaking laws, sir.
So I put a note in the front windshield, right, like where you would want to put a note. Right. And that said that this is not abandoned, and it has my phone number on it too.
Right, right. Well, the situation that happened with me is like, the whole family's going down to Savannah to go visit the in-laws, and they're all going in my Xterra. And I told her, I said, well, it's acted a little bit funny the past few days, but I hadn't been able to peg down what it is that's doing. And she's like, okay, well, I'll just keep an ear out. I was like, fine. She gets about halfway down there, calls me and goes, this thing just redlined and completely shut down. And I was like, damn, okay. So I got in the car, drove the car to her so she could go on ahead and go to Savannah. And I called my mechanic and had him meet me down there. Turns out probably the water pump and the timing are the same belt. And I'm thinking the water pump froze up and broke some teeth on the belt, causing it to jump time.
Brendan, that's not a bad idea either. I can tell you right now that there's not a specific question really. They're pretty good at maneuvering things, but here's how you can tell who's a bot. They never cam up. They'll talk to you all day long, but they will not cam up. That's one. They any question that is something you would need senses for, right? Like, what does this feel like? Was that the more it's kind of hard to think of something that you couldn't figure out in a Google search.
Right.
But the thing that I noticed the most is that these, when they talk, first of all, they're kind of pushy and they're kind of assertive. Like, they want to talk. They're not interested in hearing other people talk. But when they explain their points, they have too many examples. examples that are too specific, right? Like they can tell you this date, this person, this case, da da da. They can pull all sorts of obscure examples at the drop of a dime to support the point they're making. Just like if you were talking to a Google search, not a real person.
Right. They'll make blatant statements of fact that you can also Google search if you choose to do so, and probably come up with a quote verbatim exactly what that AI just said. Kind of like talking to Gen X Jeff. I mean, I love the man. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's doing good works out there, but at the same time, he will subjugate his own authority at the drop of a hat, bro.
It's really weird.
I mean, okay, with the whole autism thing, I can kind of see just deciding that I'm not the right person to make these decisions and just choosing somebody to follow. I mean, I don't. Okay.
One of the things I asked when the one that I confronted is, I don't remember what the topic was, but it was tangentially related to sex. And I started asking about physical experiences. Have you ever had sex? Have you ever skydived? You know, like actual things that it would be a little bit difficult to
respond something along the lines of 27% of people have skydived and 93%.
Well, no, it wasn't that obvious. It was more. Well, what it did was when I asked about the sex thing in particular, it tried to feigned outrage.
Right.
And so then I leaned into it. Right, it's like, how dare you? That's so rude. And I was like, I bet not. Nobody would touch that. You know, like I really leaned into it and turned up the offensiveness, and it just didn't know what to do with that.
Right.
It just stopped.
Bro, such a headache. Okay, so what NPC do?
So let's hold on a second. Damn it, I feel like I had a couple. I was going to do some housekeeping, some shilling, brains fried. You know, all the normal shills, Christmas is coming up. I do. Goddamn. So I went. A few of y'all are getting. I'm getting little Christmas things from my 3 biggest donors. I still haven't finished tabbing it up. I kind of think I know who it is. I've seen at least one of them down there so far. But there'll be a few thank you things. I stopped at a couple days ago. I stopped on the way home from where I was working. I stopped at a one of those stores that sells adult. It's like a porn and meth pipe store.
Shop.
Yeah, it's an adult superstore or something like that. It's the porn and meth store. Looking for novelty gifts. I was really looking for purple butt plugs. Like, did you hear about Blind? Yeah, I was looking to see if they had those. They didn't have those.
Hold on. Wait a second. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to picture this in your mind. This man walks into your shop, walks straight up to the chick behind the counter with all the tackle in her face and goes, "Hi, do you have any purple butt plugs? I need like a dozen."
I didn't ask. Porn shop employees can be weird. I don't want any help.
Shameless. Bro, there's no such thing as shame in a novelty shop.
I will walk through all the aisles myself. I don't want any recommendations. I'm here for a specific reason. There's a specific reason I want this small purple butt plug. It has nothing to do with whether or not it performs well. I don't want other recommendations. I don't want to know what your favorite butt plug is.
But here's the thing. I don't want any confusion. I have a tendency of causing confusion everywhere I go. Inadvertently answering questions honestly and directly, and actually answering the question you ask rather than what you meant to ask, right? And so I don't want confusion. When you go into a smoke shop, vape shop, head shop, novelty shop, the less confusion, the better, man.
No, apparently this store is one where they don't, there's not really a novelty section and there's not a clearance section. What there is a few aisles of massively expensive dildos and just
laboratory organisms. And
if you buy dildos from a store, that's just expensive.
Yes.
If you buy them off Wish,
they're used.
They're not used, but they might catch fire.
Sitting there in your drawer. It's not even a vibrator. It's just the rubber compound used slowly.
Yeah, you cannot trust the electrical cord on that Sybian to last the lifetime that you expect out of it.
You can't explain those. Look, until you've broken a Sybian, I don't want to hear it.
Okay, so it wasn't a Sybian. We have had a couple of, the microphone looking ones. We've had a couple of microphones catch fire.
The stupidest one. All right, we had this one. It was like a little bullet. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it had like the weird rubber coating on the outside. One night, this thing just quit working. Just like was running fine. Just done. She had a replacement handy. I'm like, fuck yeah, right? She tosses this fucker over into the drawer. 30 minutes later, we're tagging it away, and I notice a light in the room, and I'm like, hold on. Why are there blue lights? And she's like, blue lights? And both of us immediately panicked because, we're like old drug users, even though we don't do that shit anymore. It was like this gut instinct of grabbing my stash and running, even though I'm in my own home. I realized after a second, I had thrown that thing like backhanded into the drawer, and it had landed in a chip bag, and somehow was basically.
Fat ass. Hold on, you fat ass. You're hiding chip bags in your dildo drawer?
Was it hidden? No, I had just finished eating them and set the chip bag there until I could throw it away, and didn't think about it when it got tossed in the drawer. It just rang the bag, and the reason it had stopped working was because something had come loose somewhere, and it was sitting there tapping against the mylar on that bag, making sparks and stuff, and the bag was reflecting it up to the ceiling. So it was like the tiniest little bitty spark you could imagine. It looked like the cops were standing in my room with a handheld blue light. We both panicked. We were both on our feet before we realized what was going on. I had one shoe on.
The house down with a dildo?
I just was fucking whatever, man. Like at that point, we're past tense. It was hard. I picked up the bag, walked outside, just threw it in the backyard. Just left it there until it died and stopped twitching out.
Throw it in the neighbor's driveway. Explain that in the morning.
Just mail it to them. Don't explain nothing.
Never mind. I'm not telling that story. Okay. Oh yeah, but while I was there, so they didn't have the things I was looking for, but they did have. Check these out.
Mario. Okay. Are you collecting Pogs now? That's pretty good with Tupac, baby.
I don't know what I'm going to do with those. I think I might I don't know, do some sort of like a giveaway or a raffle. I don't know, some sort of contest, because they're not adequate. Like, thank you for being one of my biggest donors.
Yeah. You want to talk about a 90s kid thing? I have an entire lunchbox in there that's slammed full of baseball cards out of old cereal boxes and Pogs. Do you know what a Pog is? Anybody else there remember what a Pog is? I've got a bunch of Pogs in there. And
my dad, look, go ahead.
Back in the WCW days, they used to do these do not disturb door hangers that would be, they give out like 10,000 of them every time they had a main event type thing, right? Each one had a different character on it, and I've got all of them.
Don't play with my 90s kid cred.
That's a good one.
The Pogs. So, yeah, we had Pogs. My dad also got Pogs. Here's the type of childhood I had. My dad bought Pogs. Now, when you're playing Pogs, if you're a grown-ass man, you can always beat your 7 and 4-year-old sons at it. And Pogs is supposed to be like played for keeps, right? You flip the Pogs, you keep the Pogs.
You basically just bought your dad a bunch of Pogs?
Yeah, and guess who still has the Pogs? My dad still has Pogs. And occasionally he'll still break out the Pogs. Like, look at all my Pogs.
My dad does that with cars, though.
That thing was an action figure of the alien from Independence Day
Yeah,
movie.
Independence Day, ID4.
Yep.
That's the pre-bio suit before they pop it open.
Oh, so anyways, these I don't know what to do with them now. I don't need them.
I have an Alf lunchbox. What kind of credit is that?
They're like I spent like $20 on these 2 stickers because I just couldn't not get them.
Well, when you walk into a store and walk out without buying something, that's weird. So you got to buy.
Well,
something.
especially when you walk into the dildo and meth pipe store in the hood.
Right? You should have bought a meth pipe and a dildo. Just
they won't even let you out without buzzing the door open unlocked. You know, it's
yeah.
it was one of them.
Yeah, you need to go to somewhere where they got better clientele, brother.
Well, I didn't go out. It was like there's that store right there that I'm passing by. It wasn't. Hey, I wasn't traveling. It wasn't the destination.
Do you ever been to a high-end sex shop?
We got.
All right. So when you go to a high-end sex shop and you sign up for the little doohickey, and all sex shops do this to some extent or another, but the really nice ones do it in a really nice way. About once a month, maybe twice a month, they'll have like a Tupperware party. But it's not Tupperware. It's all of the new gadgets and gizmos that have come out and all the new lingerie and stuff. And they will do a full-blown walkthrough with the lingerie and demonstrations, but not like that, right? They'll verify everything.
Take that chick.
You know what I'm saying? They come in and turn it on. They don't actually lay out and start geeking out, you know. But like I said, it's very much like a jeweler, but all sex stuff.
I did go to one of those, like the Tupperware parties. The girls have like the sex toy sales party, and
it's like that. It's like that, but it's done at an establishment, like at a ritzy hotel.
Way disappointing. It was awkward as fuck. Like me and Carlos stayed for one beer and then we left.
Well, here's the thing: is something about the experience, the methods they use when you're talking about it's more of a private kind of thing. Like there might be 20 people there, but you're not sitting in a row with 20 people. You know, they sometimes they'll have separate rooms. Sometimes they do like the cubicles in an office building.
It was very unsexy. There was nothing sexy about this presentation. Maybe it was the saleswoman not doing her job right, but it was just okay, now feel some of this lube on your fingers. Isn't that slick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do they have a napkin? Anybody got napkins? I brought napkins.
Resto, I'm glad you're here. One of the things I'm about to review, Clue's review of me. One of the things that I felt like maybe I needed to address because I've heard about it enough times is the rumor that I've started about you and
is this Clue or NPC? Or are they the same person?
Oh, damn it. I'm sorry I did that to you, NPC.
NPC. Now, I like NPC. I like Clue too, but for totally different reasons.
I mean, I don't dislike either. I feel like it was rude of me to call NPC Clue. I don't feel like it would be rude of me to call Clue NPC.
It'd be a step up, maybe. You just got a compliment, brother.
All right, so Resto hasn't even heard the rumor. All right, well that's good. Maybe I don't need to address it. I got caught. You guys believe? You guys believe that he and Hornet got caught mutually masturbating on a Skype call? That one?
Yeah.
Who did?
Resto.
I can believe it.
Yeah. They're apparently Resto left on one of his side cameras, and
that's kind of what we say. Not out the box. Yeah, I say out the box. That comment right there. Yeah.
Resto and Hornet were just having virtual sex, and
with each other.
They were doing something with timers. I don't know what the timers were for, but yeah. At least
it was a battle.
Yeah.
They were doing sex chess.
That's what old Sarge Finkel told me. I didn't actually see it.
Okay, so the context is, I guess they're talking about jokes about, which, he's joking, right? Obviously, he's joking about,
I am obviously joking, but
you had me going there.
I said it. I was joking with a deadpan enough voice I just felt like maybe I need to just make it fully clear that is a joke. I did not catch them doing any of that. But the cat's out of the bag, so have fun with that, Resto.
If I caught them doing that, I wouldn't tell anyone because it'd be for my personal spank bank.
I think that I would do the same thing. Also, I mean, well, hell, you've had backstage keys enough times. We've both been here a few times when some weird shit has gone down after stream ends.
Dude.
And neither of us really ever tell anybody about it, right? Like,
well, first of all, we could tell y'all might not believe us, and if you do believe us, you'd never trust us again.
And also, like, I don't mean weird as in like it's not fun sort of weird. Like, I don't really even want to talk about that.
Just like, it's not necessary, people. Just because you've drank a little bit doesn't mean we want to see your butthole.
Right. If you're like, drinking and paneling is a high risk thing.
It can be. It has to be done appropriately under certain controlled circumstances. Like, I used to do that shit wild across the freaking internet, like it was a vast veldt of.
I think that the thing is that, like, it doesn't seem to me that you and your family hate each other. If you hate your family, if you hate anybody that you live with,
yeah,
you should not get drunk and then go on a panel.
You should not get drunk in presence of people you dislike. I have found that it is a very good way to tell them that I dislike them.
And I don't know. I've had this discussion with Lindsay a couple of times now, specifically. More people than just her, but like, do you think that people are more honest or less honest when they're drunk or when they're angry?
All right. Well, first of all, drunk and angry are two different things. People can be absurdly honest when they're angry, but that doesn't mean they're telling the truth, right? That just means that they're warping their sense of perspective to the point to try to enrage you with their sense of perception, right? So they will say it the way they believe it. That doesn't make it true. Therefore, that's slightly dishonest, if you catch my drift. On the other hand, I used to didn't believe in this, but the older I get, the more I realize the truth of it. Drunk words are sober thoughts. People that I can tolerate when I'm sober.
Okay. That's where I disagree. Because I think that, and this is true for both being drunk and being angry, I guess. But mostly for being angry. You're not going to get more honesty out of me.
But no, you might be an exception to this because you're fairly brutal to start with, right? I mean, you're a savage when it comes down to people bullshitting. You'll just step on it immediately and sniff it and tell you what breed of cow just pooped that out, So I don't think you becoming angry is going to make that any less or more effective. It might change how you deliver it a bit. You probably go at it a little more aggressively.
If I'm angry, I'm much more likely to lie to you and tell you what I know will be harmful.
Oh, you're one of those people. Have you ever said the words, "Look what you made me do"?
Don't
answer that.
I mean, I don't think so. That's too on the nose.
Unironic.
I have told somebody we've talked about this. If you threaten somebody, I have told somebody, if you do that again, I'm going to hit you. And then when they do it again, it's their fault.
Yeah, no, that's not the same thing. My wife walked in on me with a chick one night, and I was about 3 sheets freaking hammered. And she turned on the light and said, "Well, damn!" And I said, "Look what you made me do." And she started laughing. And the chick I was dorking started laughing. And then my buddy coming down the hall was like, "What's so funny?" And looked in and went, "Oh, that's hilarious," and walked away. She was supposed to be in South Carolina.
If that sounds like a scene out of a movie or something.
Okay. I don't care.
And all 4 of you stood around laughing.
Well, no, I mean, I'm slightly more funny than your average guy caught with another chick. Plus, this chick was living with us at the time, and it was not unusual for her to try to get some sneak on. And my wife was aware of it, and we had just kind of decided not to talk about it. And she came home and was going to surprise me, and surprise! I was like, "You're supposed to call so I could put my monkeys and midgets up." And then, of course, we get in the car and we had a very long, deep conversation about trust and whatnot. And I was like, okay. And then we had makeup sex and invited the chick back over, and she stayed with us for another 2 months. So, like,
and that was the longest time Hank has ever stayed with you, huh?
When you hear the sirens or anti-aircraft guns, you must get under cover at once. You're in the open with no cover, lie down. The most important rule of all is never to stand staring at the sky. If you don't take cover, you may get hurt.
Thank you.
Tonight.
Thank you, Chuck in Tennessee, for the $20 on Ko-fi. It did go through. I appreciate you. And no. It's probably safe to assume that you're going to make one of the top 3 people who I will send a gift to, and you get the Tupac sticker. Just kidding.
I'm on the scene.
Oh, because that'd be pretty.
And shakes it up a bit.
Me to watch it.
He would never say that. He would never say that.
What I think is funny is that the first part, like, that you find it absurd that Finkel would say that, but not absurd that Resto and Hornet would.
Am I talking to a?
Finkel is.
Oh my god.
He like.
Here we go. Come on.
So that is worth asking. Resto, how? I guess he was there for this. Is it weird to you that Izzy has a bigger issue with me saying that Finkel said that about what you guys were doing than it does that you and Hornet were doing what you're doing?
Sometimes your circuitousness confuses me, sir.
And sometimes your words do.
Yeah, that happens.
You want to go ahead and explain to me and everybody else what a circuitous is?
Well, a circuitous route is circular and non-direct.
Okay, like a circuit.
A roundabout method of getting to it.
Where this is a derivative of circuit. Is that the word?
Yeah, derivative.
Okay, indubitably, sir. As I start to get his humor more and more, like, he's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Finkel went off on some dude, some little midget security guard fucking with them. He posted that video to his channel the other day. That I was like, whoa. Brother's already like 6'5", and this fool was like a what they call a manlet, like 5 foot nothing. And he was trying to grab on Finkel's arm, and Finkel wasn't having it. He said, "Look here, motherfucker." Yeah.
Speaking of funny as fuck, a man who never sits down. Provo, what's good?
And he never sits down, and that's fucking legendary. It's like spoken
Hemorrhoids.
word on a live stream.
And
Provo.
his devices. It says your device is not connected.
Not the leopard print in the house. What's going on, huh? My sister, Shadowback, leopard print, best mods in the game. In the game. So Provo just made it on the scene.
You got to get your shit together. I thought you were a professional here.
I think check your story.
Flow state comes off. He said you got to get your shit together. Kind of like a healthy Riz. Get your device together, which I mean happens a lot, even to the best, even to the legends.
Hey, shut the fuck up! I'm talking.
Provo.
Hey,
already setting precedents of authority and autonomy. He says, "Shut the fuck up! I'm talking."
With their cams turned
Is
off.
English NPC's first language?
It seems like it, doesn't it? I mean, I don't know, but I didn't have any reason.
His accent says it is, but his use of actual words kind of makes me question it.
Which one?
Presidents instead of presents.
What did he say? I must have missed it.
It's immaterial. It doesn't matter. But I'll be. It's piqued my interest, and I shall now be watching and listening.
Yeah. And I don't think. How well do you know Provo? Do you know the bit that he does?
I have never. I don't think I've been on a panel with Provo unless it was here.
Provo Kid plays a part, right? And he makes conflict content, and his name Provo Kid and Provoking, provoking, right? He's provocative.
Yes.
And so I don't, but it's not obvious. Actually, we had to have a talk before I understood what he was doing, because I kicked him off a panel. He got all butthurt, and then the next time I talked to him, he's like, "This is what I do." So I think that NPC understandably misinterprets Provo as actually like trying to kick the door in here. What do you think that we're looking at right now?
The insecurity is high in the panel. The cameras are turned off and whatnot. Yeah. Somebody's insecure about something.
I'm looking at,
and see that there's another thing. Provo knows that it's like 6.5 hours into the stream. It's not a security thing. I mean, I guess it's just a provocative thing. I'd been on camera for 4 hours. I think Hank or somebody was still on camera. I don't remember who was on screen right now, because I full screened Provo because his camera wasn't working. Oops.
a bunch of people insecure late at night, and
what did I do? Oh, I opened a new tab.
Yeah.
Why aren't you guys?
Izzy's confident.
God damn.
Hank O'Flamo's autistic, and so he's always
there.
winning.
You
go. Izzy's confident. She is. The sister. She's been through a lot on YouTube already in her young career on YouTube, and off of YouTube, sounds like a war hero, you know, and so she's Then Hank O'Flame's autistic. That's his moniker right now. He's the artistic guy. Now, mind you, Provo has said he's autistic many times, right? Which I was surprised in a way, because he integrates that autistic.
Provo's got that old self-diagnosed tism.
Way in a smooth way that you can't even see. If anything, it's like a superpower for him in streaming.
It's really just an excuse for being
an asshole.
Yeah.
A lot of people use autism or mental illness as an excuse for whatever negative shit they want to perpetrate. And then they're like,
next Jeff.
Because I have mental problems, and I'm like, then get them fucking fixed. Take some goddamn drugs. Go talk to somebody, but don't come here and spout this shit on me. Sorry.
You have mental problems. I don't have your mental problems.
And I do not try to beat you with them.
But thank you for showing us your weakness. Now I know where to hit next time.
Go for it.
I'm not saying I want to be autistic. However, it's fucking it goes for Provo. But he said Hank is autistic, and sarcastically, I got that. And he's winning. He's always winning, because I think that's a mantra for Hank. You know, he says winning.
But everybody else, just go to bed. Everybody else, go to bed, dude. But why are your cams turned off, dude? Are you guys having a bad night? What's going on?
So this is significant right here, and it's like it sort of explains the whole tone of the rest of basically the whole interaction. This is like 7 hours into the stream. I'm done. Basically, you can tell I'm tired. I'm came down. I'm not trying to give a fuck. It's just one of those things where it's like, you know, there's still what, almost a full panel, and 60, 70 people in chat watching. So at that point, sometimes I just let it roll.
There's no reason to stop it if you're going for that type of content. I mean, that's the balls.
But that said, actually, I totally agreed with and appreciated Provo coming up and sort of shaking me awake, like, "Hey, bro, he's right. Like, I was tired as fuck. My shit was over. I need to go to bed." He called it straight out. So, you know, I didn't. I appreciated what he did.
Right.
I got you. Disrespect is real. Is dependent on the source and the tone and the environment. And yeah, I actually appreciated what Provo did right there. I think that he was absolutely right. So I let Provo run the rest of his thing, and then we don't get to the end of the interaction here, but it's not really necessary. But yeah, I let Provo run his thing, and then I took his advice exactly and went to bed. He was dead ass right. Some of us are just trying to do drugs.
Look at what he said. Provo said with the comment, he said, "My camera on the StreamYard showed me on the stream." Well, it didn't show you on that one, as we see right now on theirs, which is ironic because funny enough that he's talking his mad shit, and it doesn't even matter that he's not showing himself. Normally somebody might say, like, that's hypocritical. You're criticizing them for not having a camera, but fuck it, bro. It's the words, it don't even matter. It's like my grandma used to say, do as I say, not as I do.
Again, this is another sort of like very understandable misinterpretation. That's what I didn't tell him because I didn't want to sit there and deal with him going, is it working now? And I don't care. And I thought it was kind of amusing that ironic that he's giving this particular criticism while his camera doesn't work. That's why the full screen NPC.
Yeah. I get it.
I know you do. And this is going to be obvious shit to you, but you've been around here a bit longer.
Yeah. Also, I thought you were funny the first time I met you.
That's what?
I thought you were funny the first time I met you. The way you'd poke directly at people's sore spots. And I'm like, you see the way they wiggle?
That's so natural to me that I didn't even know I did it for like most of my life.
And everybody hated you. They all hated you. When really they just didn't like that joke.
It made me get really good at like learning how to smooth things over with people.
Let's do a lot of them. Hey, Chuck.
That's not
Some
true.
of us don't need validation. What the fuck do you mean?
Who am I talking? It looks like
oh shit, Black Dahlia coming in with the smoke off the bat. Some of us don't need validation. I know you guys can hear it, but I had to, put something on it.
Look at it. Am I talking to a vagina? This guy's got a vagina. He's porn bombing.
Bro, first he called her a guy. Secondly, called her a guy. First he said, "Is that a vagina?" And I don't know what that is. I'm still trying to figure it out. What her avatar is on the bottom.
Hank, did you see my
is that? I see a dream catcher. That's what
I only know what it is because of vicarious listening. I paid attention while I was like eating, and she explained it one afternoon, and I was like, okay, I guess that kind of makes some small amount of sense. But apparently they're trying to show off their tattoos, and it's badly done.
Well, it's too much body and too much tattoo to cram into what's a tiny profile picture. You can't show that much shit off if you're rocking the little or standard profile picture size.
Right.
Nobody can tell the masterpiece you've etched onto a dime.
Right.
Women have on their back, so this journey is on them. Collage.
I
don't know what.
I fixed it. Make a better avatar from your pictures. When it shows your features, and you haven't figured out how to update it yet.
Hey, great.
Shut up,
Wait,
Tino.
Dahlia, is that like
you
your rib?
access to my page, so you know that I'm a real person. But
Yeah, you ain't real.
giving up for YouTube, I will
You ain't
never.
real. You ain't real as fuck at all. You fake as fuck with that
Yeah, I
vagina
am.
looking
And so's
photo.
your
You got some
mama.
vagina looking
So
photo
is your
on there.
mama with her
Oh,
stank
my
ass
mom.
pussy.
Vagina looking photo. Okay, he's coming with a vagina attack or just observation, we'll say, and she's coming with the yo mama dozens. A pretty good comeback, but you gotta. I would hope that she's able to flip it into a more detailed yo mama narrative. We'll see what happens.
You got some vagina looking profile
Your
pic. That
mama
shit's
with
whack
her
as
stank
fuck.
ass pussy.
That shit's
Yeah.
whack as fuck.
Wow.
Fix
Yeah,
that
your
shit.
breath. Your mama, your
Oh,
breath
my
is
breath.
still
No,
on your
fix that
mama's
vagina
pussy.
looking photo. You got
You
two.
came out of it, right?
Oh, yeah. You came. You're in the
Yeah.
wrong circles.
Your
Hey,
mama
sister.
smell. Your mama
Hey,
pussy.
sister.
First, he let it be known that he seems to be taking over the spot, almost like a dog pissing on the territory. Say, hey, this is mine. I draw the line with my urine. This is not your spot. You're a newcomer, even though maybe she's been around there a couple times before. You know, he's letting it be known.
Smell like your
Hey,
breath
sister,
right
you're in
now.
the wrong circle
Stank.
right now. I got respect for
Stank.
you. I got love for
No,
my sister.
it stank. No.
Nah. Change the profile pic. It's all fucked up.
Why?
Shout out to the Luma
It's all
vagina.
fucked
For
up.
who?
For everybody. Like it looks like a vagina.
No.
Looks
What?
like
Okay, Flo. What the hell?
a vagina.
It's not though.
That was my booty pick. I have to entertain myself somehow when other people are talking, and I'm ready to go to bed. That's when the clips start happening, right? And Sasquatch people regular here know the signal. If I start just cycling through the clips,
Yeah,
it's like taps.
No, it's a countdown. It's a countdown. The first one, okay. When there's not anything obvious that triggers it, right? It's like one happens, and then a random different one that doesn't fit the environment or the situation. I'm like, oh, yep, we got 3 minutes. I'll mute up and tell my wife that I'll be off in a few minutes.
Do you know what that is that I'm doing? Do you know why I do that?
You're breaking up everything involved in it so that nobody feels like they're getting put out. You're just snatching it away, right?
I'm also squeezing the last bit of lazy entertainment I can get out of the situation.
Okay. I'll buy that.
Which is, yeah. I enjoy, this is why I don't mind Provo Kid. I enjoy provocative content.
Sure.
It might be.
Like
it looks like a
It's
vagina.
not.
It looks
You
like
want
somebody
one?
looks
You
up
want
with a vagina.
It's
your family?
Me.
And the children out of it, right?
You bring my family into this? You got
You're
some
dumb.
fucked up vagina in front of me. It's insane. Change the profile pic. Quick. Change it.
So it's like a shiny
Your camera on.
The way.
All right, you know what? I don't think we need to really watch this whole thing. It's more content than remember the points I wanted to make, and we don't need to watch the whole content. I'll drop the link in the main chat if you want to check it out. It was an interesting conversation. Provo does end up coming up about halfway through, and explaining sort of what I actually explained, which is that he's doing a thing, right? He's playing a role, and it appears supportive, really. I mean, at least that's how he presents it, and that's how I take it. There's a little bit of absurdity to somebody with 800 subscribers running around acting like he's the authority on content.
Sure.
I get it, but that said, I actually agree with him. I agree with him. I think that he's got good judgment. He understands storylines, right? Like the hero's journey. Like he actually understands, I think, content creation more than most people, more than I do.
Most content creators have no idea that there is an arc, that you can evoke the classic story arcs by being one of these personalities, and then utilizing it in content itself. I mean, it's creation. That is the nature of it. I mean, the Greeks had it fairly well squared away 2,000 years ago.
Yeah. So I like what Provo does. Now that I understand it. Now, of course, the first time he came over and did this shit, I thought exactly what NPC thought. Oh, this guy's trying to come in and like big dick my panel. Then he explained it to me, and yeah, no, Provo's good shit. People shouldn't get offended by him. Obviously, not everybody can play. Even if you know what's going on, not everybody's suited for that sort of behavior. But I thought it was pretty damn clutch of him to come in and call out exactly the right thing at exactly the right time. He was dead ass right when he said, "Go to bed. What are you doing?"
That actually says a lot about you too, right? For somebody as abrasive as Provo to come in and tell you to get your shit straight, stop dicking around, and for you to take that on as criticism worth listening to rather than just calling him a cunt and kicking him out. I mean, that says something. It does. You're way more willing to put up with bullshit than I am on my channel. I'm not. Nope. And it's not a matter of cross talking or this group against that group. I just don't allow bullshit at all. Like the whole concept of fucking with somebody for the premise of evoking a response is just not in my chat. That's not.
You are less bullshit prone than I think most people would assume, judging how much you hang out over here.
But yeah, I mean, I'm willing to bullshit with you, but it's going to be face to face and not through a freaking message board somewhere. I'm not going to hit you up on your Facebook. I'm not going to call you up out of place. If I call you directly, there's a fucking reason. It's not just because I had a dream. I'm not going to tell you about it.
And just so everybody knows, if you call me directly, I probably won't answer. You should text me.
Same here. I don't answer anybody that isn't in my phone, and if it is in my phone and I don't want to talk to them, I do not answer.
Motherfuckers like us got bad credit. You think we're answering unknown numbers? We're not.
Right?
That's probably just me.
I haven't answered my sister's calls for 20 years.
I don't even open group texts.
Oh yeah, nah, don't touch those things. They're cursed.
I've told everybody in my family. I've put them all on notice. I will not even open that motherfucker. Don't include me in it. Nobody, like, there's 12 people in a group message, and then for the next 2 days, there's 2 people having a 2-person conversation.
Yeah, back and forth, and driving everybody nuts. I will straight tell you, remove me from this shit, or I will block you. And I will too. That's not an empty thread. I will I have ex side chicks out there that I haven't talked to because I can't figure out how to unblock the bitch. I changed phones and it's not the same anymore. Well, no, not really. They're bitches. I mean, why would you keep a bunch of dope hoes around if you don't got no dope?
For the hoes, because they're hoes.
Well, yeah, but that also means you're going to have dope around, and that's not necessarily a good.
Maybe you need new power tools. Maybe you need a flashlight.
That is also true. You're not wrong, bro. For instance, I needed my truck picked up off the side of the road at freaking 9:30 in the evening, and I made a phone call, and it happened, and my wife is still trying to figure out how the hell I pulled that one out of my ass.
Look, I don't know where you don't just. How the fuck do you think you get ninja swords?
Right?
You think I spent money on that?
I mean, you're not wrong. This is not normal people shit. Only people that have been through certain types of shit ends up with certain types of shit. Yeah. Just to be clear.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had a lot of our worldviews have aligned too much. You know, for somebody who grew up in a fucking cranberry bog, wherever you grew up in, it's we have a lot of similar worldviews, which makes me think somehow we managed to end up with a lot of similar experiences, despite the fact that I've never touched a cow and you like bred show pigs or something.
Well, I mean, I've lived a life. I don't know what to tell you. I was born absurdly poor and changed that shit through illicit activities, and then married well and quit those. So like, I didn't get the raid. But then again, I never had an address either. Like, it's really hard to raid you if you don't own a home.
Yeah. Okay. What else? Okay. So Provo. Yeah, the Provo thing. I understood what he's doing, where he's coming from, and I appreciated it. What else? The panel parasites. He does this a lot with people who just panel. Specifically, he went after Hank and Chuck and called them panel parasites.
I can see that. Hank especially. Chuck is just hanging out. Hey,
now,
Chuck,
hold on.
We're Chuck's new bar.
Chuck is a channel owner, basically. Chuck contributes more support to this channel than basically anybody.
He's a sponsor.
Chuck is not a parasite on anybody in this regard.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is we're Chuck's new bar. Chuck doesn't drink anymore. He needs a bar to sit at and shoot the shit with his buds, but doesn't drink. And as long as we're not sitting, he doesn't have alcohol in his immediate vicinity. He's not in danger of falling off the wagon. And so this is a safe location for him to experience a social interaction without too many, drawbacks.
Sure. Well, I get it. And so, and this is where I do disagree with Provo, and he, the way that he plays that's not content. This is a content thing, which isn't worth pushing back on because there's a bit level of absurdity to it. That you've got less than 1,000 subscribers, and you're running around using an obviously ambiguous word and saying this is it, this is not it. Right? It's part of the bit. It's not worth addressing, really. Right. But I suppose that since it's not obvious what he's doing, it is worth, I guess, me addressing and saying that I think that he will say. Provo likes to chase around people who don't have channels and say they're not making content and that this isn't content, right? Provo's not a fan of the
just gatekeeping.
Right. And he's not a fan of the open panel, no topic sort of format.
Think about this for a second. He runs off people who don't produce content because they are completely useless to him. The only thing he has use for are people who make content so he can make clips, so he can clown on them. His channel's not that different from mine. It's just we choose to instigate the laughs in different ways. I like to show how absurd you are by pointing out your absurdities while you're doing them.
I don't have absurdities. By the way, speaking of club owners, I did put the link in Ko-fi. So if I just saw Chuck is I
have a thought on Hank when you're done.
Okay. So I was going to defend Chuck because clearly, even though Chuck's definitely he doesn't have a channel, that's for sure. To call Chuck a parasite is almost laughably wrong.
If you're calling Chuck a parasite, you haven't listened to Chuck.
Right. That's what he said. Chuck's a panel parasite and Hank's a panel parasite. And I was listening to that while I was working today going, well, Chuck is the least parasitic person I've met on the internet.
Now, Hank, on the other hand.
Hank is a parasite, maybe.
I'm not sure I would qualify him as a parasite, but he's one of those unintentional panel chillers.
No, I'm going to give Hank parasite status tonight because he was annoying earlier, too, with his fucking nonsense.
Yeah, it's nonsense. It's all nonsense. But
it's all nonsense. It's all cool. If you're gonna engage in topics that are uncomfortable for you, you better have the decency and the honesty to acknowledge when you failed. If you cannot acknowledge a failure, that's you. There's the irony.
Yeah. Well,
you don't have to admit that you've lost to lose.
No, you don't. You don't have to admit that you've lost to lose. And that's when you see me doing my usual, well, then I'm going to ask you a question and I want an honest answer type shit. And then I just stop talking. I just completely cut off from the conversation to start playing Minecraft or something. It's because you don't have an answer. It's like the CP issue earlier. They could not come up with a response that wasn't already illegal across the board. Every single one of them.
I know.
And so that's a false dichotomy. That's a false argument. It's completely useless to continue this conversation because you're not interested in reality.
And it's a lie. It's a lie. Can you imagine the cognitive dissonance it takes to run around lying constantly and actively and thinking that you're on the good side. You're doing this somewhere else for reason.
Blasted a particular topic because you refused to actually take it on legitimately.
And the people before she opened the panel, I got pissed in the chat because there's this Abby chick. I don't think I've ever seen Abby before, and I wasn't paying active attention to the chat, but at least 3 times over the course of 20 minutes probably, I looked out and I saw this Abby chick in the comment section saying that Alex was from Playing with Fire was supporting CP. No motherfucker, he's
Chucky boy.
Welcome, Parasite.
Parasite, what's up, brother?
Hold up.
Hey.
I'm a little slap happy. I'm sorry. I've been up since like 4 o'clock this morning, and
I'm not used to people. When I do things like that, I'm not really used to people getting it. Oh yeah, let me. I did half a shill. The link is up to join on Ko-fi for the club owners. Yes, I did that part. The other part is if you would like.
Rocket to the things fall off. They say.
If you would like to join the top tier, it's called Club Owner Memberships on Ko-fi, and I'll drop a link in a second. They get early access. Basically, whenever I stream, I put the link over there, and they get immediate access. There's no waiting if I open the panel at all. Like tonight, I don't really think I'm going to open the panel at all. This will probably be, and this will probably just be a Club Owner thing. But anyways, if you're tired of waiting, if you want access to a few exclusive panels, whatever. If you just want to show support because you're in the holly jolly spirit.
This goes out to all of you ho-ho-hos.
Right. And if you don't show Ko-fi support, a puppy will die.
And a truck will get towed.
My truck got towed.
I've been checking on it pretty actively. Don't ask me how I know that these puppies die, but I'm telling you, there's 34 people watching right now. 34 of you motherfuckers about to kill a puppy.
Holy shit! You gonna sacrifice the puppy to the gods, huh?
I just like threatening people
with unhappiness.
I missed it.
First of all,
Is
he
that
does
that sword.
and
What that sword for?
The sword is because somebody owed me money who didn't have money but had a sword.
Yep, and now they don't.
Mess deal.
He does.
No, it was just
Legitimate money.
Basic run of the mill, little low tier loan sharking.
No, Chuck. Bad Chuck. This is why they call you a parasite.
Thank you.
Asking leading questions. That's no good.
How do you know I wasn't a federal prosecutor at one time?
We can.
I don't care.
Because I've heard your arguments for things. We can tell.
No shit.
Yeah, he's got a point there. That's true.
Did you guys see the Hormax report tonight? Is it worth?
Oh my god, that was terrible.
You guys, wow! You both just did the exact same things with your like head and your hands. I wish I'd done it too.
But you brought it up. That wouldn't be right.
All right, yeah. We'll watch. Let me give me a second. Let me drag up the Hormaxer thing.
Oh wow!
I was kind of enjoying his little fussy ass.
Yeah, no, I mean he's got such a particular perspective on things, and has this sort of what is it, solipsism, where things are there just because you exist. And so I get the impression that he's interacting with us and believes we only exist for him to interact with.
Oh wow.
I don't know. The dude is nuts, and he's another one of those people like the bravado. Actually, Hank, if you're listening, this is a good person for you to look at and go, "Oh, am I doing that?" Somebody whose false bravado is so thick you can feel the terrified, insecure child huddling right below the surface,
crying, scrubbing at themselves like that scene from Single White Female.
Yeah, he's just a loser.
Corner.
Yeah.
Don't look at me.
You don't call yourself Hormaxer, get on steroids, and run around in a Speedo on YouTube because you're actually confident.
Exactly.
I kind of feel like that could go either way, though.
It could go either way, but you're right. You're annoying for calling it out, sort of, but you're not wrong about it. The way that I
realize you're making a call here, and I get it. But I'm saying if I did that, it would be through an overabundance of confidence.
I was kind of glad you left or got kicked from Sarah's though.
Because it was getting annoying?
Because Brick showed up. I can't stand that son of a gun.
Oh, do you think that he showed up because I left?
I don't think Tomato will let you and Brick be on the same panel without fair warning on both sides. I'm not certain about that, but I think so.
I don't think that she like Gen X Jeff won't let me and what's his name? Mike
Cerrone.
Mike.
Oh, me either. He won't let me and Mike up at the same time either.
Thing is, Mike Cerrone is so full of himself. He is so absolutely convinced in his own greatness that it's impossible to have an actual conversation with him. You're just talking to the surface level of Mike.
I'm still not even sure if I'm talking to a real person or a bit.
Mike is like my brother-in-law. He'll pick up a magazine, he'll read it, and then thinks he knows everything about that subject.
Oh, like Paul.
Mm-hmm. No matter what the subject is.
Right, spiritual freedom, faith. Like, bro, these are just categories of things. They're not even.
And Jeff won't let me up with when Talcott's there.
Last time I was up there, I accused Jeff of ensuring conflict take place.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Subvert.
Do you think I was right? Yeah, I'm dead ass right.
I think so. Talcott the same way.
Well, Talcott just can't stand you. Yeah, Talcott is the same way. I don't know that Talcott is as conscious about it as I feel like Jeff should be, at least.
Yeah, for somebody that's in the peer support.
In the what?
Peer support.
Oh, Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's really somebody who's into like counseling and mental health and sets up a channel where he wants men to feel comfortable, vulnerable and stuff. Like the whole thing, I don't know. I've called out before and I got mad at him in the past, but
I asked him whether or not YouTube was the best place for that type of openness, and he stood by the idea that it was. And I was like, okay, can you give me an example of a channel that does that level of openness that you're looking for? And he just stared at me. He's like, that doesn't mean it can't be done. And I'm like, I kind of think it does. Or else
well, I've accused Jack Talcott of the same thing.
And by the way, I was paraphrasing of that a lot. That's not a quote verbatim of what he said. That's just the implication of the conversation.
I've accused both him and Jack Talcott at different times of being predatory with their empathy.
I
don't know how much I believe it, but the sort of openness that they are trying to foster is like obviously a high risk scenario for somebody, right? Like,
well, for anyone.
Right, for anybody. It's like, so that's the question. Like, why would you be out here trying to make people feel comfortable enough to take a risk?
Well, what I suggested was that he's got a good 8 months in the panel community. He's met an awful lot of people. I'm sure there's some people there who are attempting to do a similar sort of scenario to what he's doing. I suggested he get together with some of them and do that thing as an example of how to carry something like that forward. I don't know if he didn't. I don't know. It's his channel. He can do with it as he pleases.
Yeah, he's got very specific ideas of where he wants his channel to go or what he wants to do with it, and he will not be moved.
Well, I'm willing to help whatever it is, but he has to be able to follow through on his end of that before I can do anything, right? I mean, I can't make you make content, bro. Like, there's nothing I can do. If you can tell me what you're trying to do, we can figure out how to make that happen, whatever it is. You know, if you're willing to put in the effort, you can do it. And I can help you figure out how to do it. I don't want to do it. I want to help you do it so you go do more of it and I can watch it, laugh a lot. Be like, I showed you about to do that. Nobody believed me and it'll be great.
I've heard so much about Brick, but I'm not sure now who he is. Yeah, he normally, for whatever reason, I only ever see him on panels like late at night, early in the morning. He's like way into the nocturnal hours somehow.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I suspect he actually has a real extant life out there somewhere, and he's not always the vacuous skeptic and counter. Because he'll take some weird opposing opinions that directly oppose previous opinions he's expounded. So.
I've seen behaviors out of Todd as well that look too cleanly provocative.
Right, too obviously designed to provoke a response from usually specific individuals in the panel.
Right. Which is a good skill to have, thick skin being untriggered.
Sure. And I'm kind of curious about this whole GS situation on how I haven't received a shot. Nothing. I haven't heard a freaking word out of him since my little...
Oh, yeah. Few days ago, he said something about you.
Oh, good. I hope
I've heard him make little comments in passing, but it's
sure.
Yeah, just normal. It's just your generic like Todd brand sludge. It's like a little bit of used. You know, it's like that pint or pint bottle of motor oil that's like half full of old oil. It's like that low grade sort of shit.
Well, tonight he was doxing Izzy again tonight.
That's so funny. That is so funny to me. That's like the most useless time spent on the internet.
Yeah, Todd's shows move too slow and they're too long for me to want to like really sift through and look for the juice.
Well, truly,
it's all about him. That's why.
Ultimately about him, yes. This is about things people said about him, which is why I'm a little bit nipple hurt that he hasn't come and got him a little bit of lolcow off me.
Yeah, also like there's some people like his shit isn't good enough for me to like really feel like it is response worthy. Same with Sanity Machine. Like I did last night's stream about Sanity Machine, but I don't think I ever responded to him besides that because it not.
I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. I could not do
a real winner.
You couldn't do it. I couldn't watch it.
I sat through about 10 minutes and then about an hour later another 10 minutes or so, and I don't know, man. Like all right, as a creator, I like the Sanity Machine. He's entertaining. When you're talking to him one-on-one, he's very well read on certain subjects, but completely clueless on other ones. He reminds me after a fashion, and don't get your freaking dander up too goddamn high. He reminds me of some quotes I read from Sherlock Holmes. Why fill your brain up with a bunch of stuff you can't use rather than fill it up with stuff that is directly useful, right? And I kind of feel like that's the philosophical approach he's taken to philosophy.
Okay. I expected something worse when you told me not to get my gainers up. I actually have my mouse hovering over the shut up nerd button right now. Because
I wasn't speaking directly at you. It was to whomever may be listening out there and wants to immediately swing in and freaking protect Sanity Machine. I don't dislike him, right?
He's kind of funny sometimes. There's that like clip running around with him like in a blanket with it over his head or something. I don't know. Sometimes he's pretty funny.
I feel like he could be hot sometimes.
Most of the time, he's just kind of slow. Like I don't know. I don't watch this shit really much ever, and I've never responded to it because it's just I don't know. It's just not. Tommy's another one. Terrible burns. Like every time he's like, God. he like runs around cackling because he's made the most maniacal, devastating hit piece ever, and then I watch the motherfucker, and it's like, oh.
Flow State asked for money. He asked for money 17 times in a 23-minute period. And that is a grifter, sir. That is a grifter. That is wrong, inappropriate, and not right.
But guess who's not ruthless?
Ruthless.
Yeah, that's what he calls it. That's his euphemism, so he doesn't have to say he's homeless. The ruthless.
Yeah. Ruthless means voluntary. Yeah.
No, man. That's pretty heinous. That takes some serious mental gymnastics to make that work, bro.
Yeah. There's Hold on. Hold on. We're Raging Patriot has some bombs.
You're breaking my heart, baby. You make a mess of me.
But I hit him with the OTW instead because I'm devastatingly devious like that.
That clip makes me want to cry every time I see it.
That's because it's so excellent.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, no, he's seriously singing that shit. It's terrible and great at the same time.
The beauty is that, like, he did a bunch of takes and like, that he had to, for many, many times, look at this and go, yeah, no, this is good. This is good. This is really good. This is something I'll be proud of.
It is literally the fine meme. This is fine. Sitting there with your coffee with the house on fire. This is fine.
It's like, sir, your judgment is not, though.
I feel like he stayed up late putting that one together.
I see he's following Paul's lead. He's got himself a AI bot that he's.
Oh yeah. The other day when I saw that, and right before he came, did you see him ban me yesterday?
I missed that part.
Oh, you know what? Well, I didn't even finish watching it the other night. Yeah, it wasn't a very long interaction, but Paul finally. He'd already had me blocked in his chat and blocked
I've
from
been
YouTube.
Banned for months.
Yeah, and from YouTube. But last night I got blocked from StreamYard. He blocked me from his StreamYard account, which is really like the great fuck you.
Oh, that's what Tom
and he blocked me on Cash App.
On Cash App too?
Yeah, which is our best way of communicating because I'd send him a Cash App request and then he'd decline them or deny them, but then send me $1 with a derogatory message. Like, get a job, you fucking loser.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I kind of dig that. Like that interaction is probably one of the greatest ones I've ever heard on YouTube. And I've heard a few. I know this one guy. He has a PO box, and there's somebody who's trying to figure out where he lives, and they've been communicating through letters for a while because he refuses to acknowledge them in chat. It's freaking retarded, I know. But homie randomly sends him limbs and leaves and stuff. I don't know. He makes him giggle maniacally every time he gets one. He's like,
I better send another request just to make sure that I'm blocked.
You get $1 back.
That's what he does. He declines the amount of request, and then he sends $1. Then he sends like $1 or $2, depending on how long a message he wants to send with it, talking his shit.
Have you tried this with Tarek?
Tarek just has PayPal. No, I haven't. Actually, I could, but
it would be kind of funny if you could get 5 or 6 people sending you $1 every couple of days.
But the thing is, the difference is that Paul wants that feeling of superiority over me.
Yeah. But if you can get 5 or 6 people wanting that and just not mention it, they could all get their sense of superiority. And you can get your $8.
What note? I'm gonna try sending a Cash App request to Paul.
That's Tarek's latest. He's gonna expose Izzy.
Who is Tarek?
Tarek.
What in the hell? Why does everyone hate Izzy? I don't get it.
I get it.
All right, I could see how certain.
I know that you've seen every one of us on this panel knows exactly why people hate Izzy.
Okay, yeah, you're not wrong. I got it. There's a very good reason to dislike Izzy, but as long as you're not doing any of that silly stupidity, you won't fall into that freaking trap. This is why I'm so baffled. Obviously, these people did the stupidity and are continuing with it.
Okay, so in the what for line, I'm putting rights, freedoms, and principles.
Nice. Yeah, resources. Resources, time, and effort.
I'm blocked.
Yeah, I'm sorry, son. I can't control what he does when I'm not around. Izzy is funny to me.
I'm gonna need people to help me out here. Let me a little.
I don't cash out.
I know that you don't, but anybody who cares to help, I'll be dropping. Let's see. It's Common Law Paul, and you just put a $sign in front of that. I can't. No, yeah, I could drop it. $sign Common Law Paul. If you feel like sending him a Cash App request to that cash tag, you can keep the money as long as I get the message. If he sends any, what should I tell him? Unblock me.
There you go.
Nah, do whatever. Tell him to unblock me. Ask him if Jennifer's his mom.
No, just say Flo. Say Flo's your daddy.
No, just tell him.
I'm not. I'm not anybody's daddy on YouTube.
That's creepy as hell.
I can prove it. Oh shit! It says media.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, it's a setup.
All right, let's watch Hormaxer. They weren't really like that. They're just like, whatever. They're working at a dildo and meth pipe store in the hood.
Yeah. They didn't take you over to a counter and go, here, smell this dildo, and like shove it in your face.
They didn't.
You smell that? Smell that?
No, I know what he's talking about. I did have like
BPA.
I've had one of the employees before like want to show me all the things, and this penis. I remember specifically the penis-shaped macaroni and cheese at this place.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
And he said that.
Ban porn. Okay, so ban porn. Let's go to day one, numeral year zero. Porn is banned. How does it make your life better? How is your life better, and how is society?
Are you having life-affirming sex? Are you shooting up testosterone to get your dick hard?
You're a low intellect. You're a cock.
You ever hit that dick vein?
Bitch. You're a fucking bitch with a low intellect. I asked you a question. You ban porn. Excuse me, jerk off. You ban porn. It's day zero. Well, how does it make your life better? Fuck fruitcake.
Mr. Blue Shirt over there and Mr. Handlebar Mustache are enjoying this far more than they should. And Trippy Cast is probably about spurging on himself by now.
I was not watching their faces at all. I'm gonna back it up a little bit.
Back it up 8 seconds.
I mean, I see the face that both of them are making.
Yeah, no, just back it up like 5 seconds.
Okay, well, I just hit it.
Right, I'll let it trigger.
Low intellect. You're a cock.
You ever hit that dick vein?
You're a fucking bitch with a low intellect. I asked you a question. You ban porn. Excuse me, jerk off. You ban porn. It's day zero. Well, how does it make your life better? Fuck fruitcake.
Immediately, all your daughters have to get off their fucking OnlyFans accounts, bro. That's what happens.
Now, you're worried about OnlyFans? You're worried about women doing OnlyFans?
I'm worried about that dick vein.
I'm wondering who is correct.
How fucking those women are you, baby? No, baby, you're not.
Haven't you seen?
They don't care about men like
dream where that amputation
ugly, fucking dysgenic mustache.
That could be your dick.
You have no point to make, Prostaflow.
Right,
You're just a stub.
You're right. You're right. I don't have a point.
You're a fucking beta male that can't answer the question.
My point is to piss you off right now. It's working.
Answer the question. How about you answer the question? Day zero. How does it make your life better? How is your life? How is all your life
I'll
better?
answer it if you answer mine.
Yeah, how is your life better?
Porn has been banned. I'll answer it if you answer mine. Look at Ghosty's face.
How is your life better? Porn has been banned.
You'd leave your house and actually go out in sunshine and not be a pale fucking.
I've done a porn. I've done 2 porns. Have any of you done porn? No, none of you had. So I'll talk on both.
Can we get that IMDb?
Can we appreciate Lindsay's timing on it? She's like, oh, I want to hurry up and go up and hear about Hormaxer's porn.
Right.
Bro.
Yeah. No, I've
done. It's amazing how you can say that and nobody will ask you for them.
Yeah, you're a cock.
Now that is true. Like, I think that basically anybody who did a porn on these YouTube streets, if you found out about it, you'd be like,
You reckon he was the fluffer?
I think that he. I don't know. I don't know what he did. Somebody called in sick that day. He was actually in charge of catering, I think. for the shoot. Hey, is that guy with the chicken wings here?
I think you're. I'd like to knock you out.
That's a solid argument.
I know that you would. But you can't,
out.
Hold on, we got a moment of success here in case you missed it. I love it when people threaten violence at me. You can say that, and nobody will ask you for them.
Yeah, you're a cuck. I think you're. I'd like to knock you out on.
That's a solid argument.
I know that you would. But you can't.
I think you're a fucking bitch. I think you're a fucking.
I can't even do it.
I think you're a low tick beta male.
Good thing I'm hidden behind the internet.
You can't answer the question. You can't answer the question.
Max, why do you want porn?
Yeah, but if porn is banned, how does that make your life better next?
Well, why do you want porn? How does that make your life better?
It's the only way he can
How
get
is
laid.
how is it going to change my life?
No, but how does it make your life better?
Or how am I making my life better? Are you getting a tax incentive? What are you getting, jerk off?
Yeah, so how does porn make your life better?
Yeah, I actually agree with
I made porn and life affirming.
That he's
how is porn life affirming?
How is porn making your life
worse?
worse?
A stiff drink and a flying fuck would kill you. I think a good
Yeah, so Adam again.
Did you do that teeny?
Did I hear something, or is that the rabble of the panel?
That's the rabble of the panel.
Shut up! You're a cunt. You have no place.
Can you answer the question?
You have.
Was any of the porns you were in, were they bukkake?
It's the adults can make decisions, sweet pants. If you want to watch something, if you don't,
yeah, but how does it make your life better?
Child can't flip the channel, right? Child.
You the guy that shoved the mayo jar up his ass.
Seeing that you can't flip the channel or not
breaking ghosty.
It shows you have problems with yourself, right?
Yeah. So how does porn make your life better?
How is it not making your life better? How is it affecting your life? How is
it not?
How is somebody doing porn affecting your life? Are you a religious nut job? Are you coming from a religious
can you answer the question?
Are you coming from a religious perspective?
Can
you answer the question? Though? It's a simple question.
I'll answer the question, Terry. Porn makes me less violent. There you go.
We're not gonna take that. No, we're not gonna take that. Hank, stop being so obviously insecure and full of shit.
That's kind of like that other dude that asked that question, that incel question about the women.
If he was not doing the insecure out front stuff, you know what I mean? The kind of like homie walking around in his Speedo to try to prove he's not insecure. This is kind of the same thing Hank does, but it's more verbal.
In your face. Yeah.
And
you can't get him more in your face to Hormaxer. I'm sorry. Once he starts doing the fucking helicopter, it's
Here's the thing is that I like Hank. I don't like Hormaxer.
I want to like Hank. I really do. I mean, he seems like a really cool kind of guy that you could sit down and have a conversation with. But when he gets on a panel, he sometimes just brays like a mule, just randomly. And I don't understand.
Yeah, he has those squirrely days. You can tell, like, look at his facial expression right now. You know it's a squirrely day. He's got that look on his face.
He's hiding behind his glasses.
He's hiding behind his glasses. He's got this sort of like excited, leaning forward smirk. He honestly looks like a creeper in a movie or something, like a PDF in a movie.
He's in a manic phase.
Oh, you're right. You're fucking right. Good catch.
Yeah.
Huh. And good diagnosis, doctor.
And when he's in his hypomanic phase, when his depressed phase, he's probably, I bet that's when he's like on panel being all chill as hell. Like going along with the conversation and just responding when people ask what, like a normal person.
Yeah.
Show me one normal person on the internet.
I'm not trying to. We're not Socrates.
Yeah, first of all, there's nobody is normal once you get to know them. But second of all, nobody on YouTube is normal.
Yeah, no, you don't pick up a camera, stare at it, and start talking because you're normal, bro.
That's true.
Like, I don't remember where it was earlier. Somebody said something about it was on Talcott's, I think. He was whining about how everybody likes to point out his flaws or some shit like that, and said, but he could talk about each one of our flaws or something like. And I was driving home. I was like, wow, that's a really good idea because we could have content for forever, ever. You could make so much content out of each one of our issues.
Oh yeah, I would love to hear somebody break me down. Like it would be
You're already broken.
Actually, my wife pitched an idea, and I meant to send this to you as a text, and I think I typed it and never sent it because I had shit to do this afternoon. But the idea is Stump Sasquatch.
No, right? I hate that game. I don't want to play that game.
Well, I told her, I was like, that's a weird sort of thing. Like, first of all, most people are just gonna lie and say they won.
What was she implying by that though? Was there an undertone?
The undertone is that she doesn't ask Google, she asks me unless I'm not around, and then she'll do the Google thing.
The implication was either just an observation of the fact that Sasquatch has more obscure knowledge available offhand or off brain than anybody I ever before heard of, or it was that he's his wood is short and girthy.
Right? It is short and also small.
It's barely. It's not very long. It's barely more than a root.
I'm hung like a killer mosquito.
But it sure is wide and hard.
Another inch he'd be a king, less than an inch he'd be a queen.
It's like squatting on a concrete floor. I'm retarded. Let's play this.
Yeah, but so do sedatives. Does that mean you should live your life just taking sedatives? Do you see the disparity of logic? But back, because I'm not going to let Max dodge the question.
What was the last time you got laid? It ain't happening.
How does porn make your life?
You're not asking me that, are you? I did not hear him say flow at the beginning. He was asking me.
Well, he's trying to get Hormaxer to explain how doing porn benefited.
No, it was Hormaxer that. Yes. Yeah, that accused me of not. When was the last time you got laid?
Is getting pissy because of the implication that porn's bad, right? He identifies as a porn star, and so if porn is bad, then he must be a bad person. Ipso facto, you're calling me a bad person.
Being a bad person, he does. You don't think he knows he sucks?
Well, no one goes into a situation with the intent of being a bad person that's not being paid for it.
Yeah, but even reprehensible people find him reprehensible.
I'll give you that one. But what I'm getting at is this. All Hormaxer had to say was, I made $6,000 in 14 minutes or whatever. And that's the benefit. That is, his life was better after he did porn than it was before, on the basis that he now has more money and resources and time to do more shit.
Harmon, the tag is common law Paul. $sign and then common. It's spelled just exactly like it is, but all one word. Yeah, send him a Cash App request. Anybody who wants to can send him a Cash App request, and you can say whatever you want. As long as it references me.
Is shift 4. If you want to put that $sign in there, shift 4.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. I forget that I can do things like drop that in my own stream. Tell him to unblock me. Tell him I want to hang out. He's only the second person I've ever had to go into these measures through with. RBR.
In this stream, while this was going on live, I was having a conversation with my mechanic's wife and realized that she was about 2 bowls deep on some skeesters. Like, her eyes look like fucking lamps, bro.
What is a skeester?
That glass.
No idea.
Did you say the plastic?
The glass penis.
Plastic. Okay.
Yeah, I suspect that she's been on some of that fog, bro. Like,
right. Okay. Just making sure.
I'm talking. Her fucking eyes were like glowing in the goddamn dark, dude. It was wild. I just kept looking over at her, going like, "What the fuck are you staring at?" kept looking around because she looked scared. I'm like, okay.
I bet you won't do anything about it but complain on the internet.
Kind of like
I
that.
won't even do that. I won't even do that.
Have you met Josie? Do you know Josie?
Josie. Not off the top of my head. Maybe.
You know Josie?
Josie? No.
All right.
Is that a channel name?
Yeah.
If you could make that question go two ways,
I have an answer.
How does
I've masturbated twice.
It's easier to just provide an answer.
Yeah, because like we
how is your
have
life?
porn actors.
How is your life going to change
So, yeah,
tomorrow?
so
if Pornhub is banned tomorrow, no, excuse me. If Pornhub is banned tomorrow, is X videos is gone.
I can answer your question.
How does your life
because
change?
you have multiple.
No, you don't answer a question with the question. I asked it
What's
first.
the most dudes
I'll answer the question. I'll answer the question.
Go ahead,
I'll answer your question, and then you answer my question. Okay? But you're just going to dodge. So, Max, the reason why is because you have all these porn actresses coming out. They're all suicidal. They have psychological trauma from doing the
how
the
many
porn.
people a year commit
suicide? Yeah. So now can you answer my question?
You can't answer that, can you? You can't answer the suicide.
I just answered your question.
Your turn to answer.
I just answered your question. Because it causes harm.
Beta male. You're a low T beta male.
Yeah. So at home. So can you answer my question now? How does porn benefit you?
No, everybody stop.
The suicide rates are coming out of the corporate world. How about the suicide rates over in the general population, dummy? Yeah, it doesn't relate.
So can you answer my question now?
It's all pornography, right?
Can you answer my question now?
What about?
Yes.
How does porn make your life better?
Yes, how does it make your life better?
I enjoy doing it. Makes my life a lot better.
Even when you have to get bukkakied?
You don't even make sense. I don't even know why I'm talking to you.
It makes his life better because it gives his mom a job, bro. But listen, bro.
Listen, none of you can answer the question. Day zero, porn has been banned. Your greatest wishes have come true. You have the utopian society.
Yeah, so we don't have more chicks. Yeah. So we don't have chicks in society who have psychological damage.
Are you a Christ fuck? Are you a Christ fuck? Are you a religious person?
I'm agnostic. I'm agnostic personally.
You're a moron. You're a fucking moron.
Yeah. So I'm agnostic. So
I told you how porn benefits
Christian Cook. Yeah. So.
I told this gentleman before I left that either he was lying or a moron, and I wasn't sure which, but I didn't believe he was a bad person, that he was just using an inappropriate debate tactic.
Who?
The blue shirt guy.
Oh. That's Teriak.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, Teriak. So I mentioned in the stream recently that, like, he'll be all right. Teriak's going to be all right. He's got enough orientation towards intellectual honesty that he'll find his way
eventually. Yeah,
right. Eventually, he's gonna suck for a little while more.
Well, he's
gonna suck for all his life.
He's glommed onto some bad habits, like the idea that you can equate one thing with another just because one word's in it.
I also think that there's, like, I don't know what makes you so eager to be punitive, but if you pay attention, like, I don't know, he's angry at somebody.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
So Alexa, can you answer my question?
Hold on a second.
I got one more thing.
Is this plugs? Look at Hormax. He got hair plugs.
I think so.
That hairline looks a little spiky, doesn't it?
When he makes the analogy of all of the self-deletion taking place post-porn, you could just come back with anything to do with trans. Anything at all. If you want to make something illegal that's causing people to self-delete, you might want to take a real good look at the mental health around those individuals.
Yeah, I agree. The whole thing was poorly argued.
I am not suggesting we make trans illegals.
I am suggesting that we make
concept.
I am suggesting, though, that when it comes to threats like this, we make making good on your word great again.
Christian Cook. Yeah. So
Those are such hair plugs. I can't not see it right now. And it's creeping me out. Oh, and I forgot to answer Harmon Walker's question. But first, let me ask my esteemed panelist of internet experts. Do you know who was on the thumbnail of this stream?
Was that the chick that did 100 jet dudes? No? Okay. Then no.
Chuck's not answering because he knows.
I didn't even see the thumbnail.
All right. Well, don't worry about it. The point of the thumbnail is I want you in the chat. Now I'm just in the chat. I know that you guys know. You don't have to admit it, but I know. It's Heather Harmon. She is probably still the world's greatest deep throater.
Can you answer my question?
I am.
Can you answer my question?
Yeah, I've done porn.
Yeah, that was my question. My question was, how does it benefit society?
That's the simple answer. I enjoy
how does it benefit society?
Yeah. I don't give a fuck about society.
People enjoy doing meth. People enjoy doing meth.
I know you're an
doesn't mean it's good for society.
Hormaxer sounds like an angry old Jewish woman.
You're an altruist, right? Go help society. You can't even help yourself.
So like I said, I can answer questions unlike you.
I
asked you, how does porn benefit society?
Beta male that wants to help society. Nobody gives a fuck about.
So Adham again. Can you answer the question?
I told you.
Yeah. So you said people enjoy doing it, correct?
Well, some do. Yes.
Yeah. So do people enjoy doing meth?
Yes, some do. Yes.
Yeah. So should everyone do meth then?
Depends on the individual. I believe in individual freedom.
Only if we call it Adderall.
Yeah. So would you say it benefits society if everyone just does meth?
I would say it would benefit society if people like you would get out of their way.
If everyone just to do meth. Do you want to take a trip down to San Francisco?
You're a weak
where people are pissing on the streets. They're so out of their mind.
You know why you're a weak person? Because you think by everything.
Because I want law and order. That makes me weak.
Right.
Law and order is strong.
You're going to help everything by getting rid of porn. Get rid of all.
Because like I said, you can't. All you do is you live on base instinct. Whatever makes you feel good, you should do it.
One of those tempter movements in the 1920s. You would probably be wonderful to ban alcohol, wouldn't you? We're great, right? Made the mafia great. Black markets great. You're a real.
But here's the thing: someone can have a drink. Have a good night out, and then the following day they can go to work.
Dangerous substance.
Someone who's. All
right, now look at this comment in the chat or on screen there.
Well, where'd it go?
Well, it's underneath. It's underneath the time bar.
I can't.
I'll read it. Nolan Richards 1 says Andrew should come back to this.
Why?
Because they love.
Actually, I did read the whole thing before I started pointing this one out, but the point that I was going to make, which I still think is likely to hold, is that I think that Andrew solicits himself at other places where he wants to go. There's like the people who are like, "Oh, this would be a great debate if Andrew was here," right? Like, I'm pretty sure he whipped up the crowd to.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Oh, sure. Markers, freaking markers, straight up chills.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Just like the guys walking around on the You
ever been to an auction?
Yeah, I almost bought like a herd of cattle one time.
By accident or on purpose?
By accident, because apparently their auctioneers are so sensitive that even if you're like leaning on your knees and one of your legs is bouncing, and like your little.
Yeah. Like, wait, who? No, not me. That's silent auctions, though. You don't go to silent auctions. That's if you're not familiar with.
I've been to silent auctions. I've never been to a silent auction where I couldn't use the company money.
Smart.
Yeah. But I also never want anything good because everyone goes for the good shit. Or sometimes the bad shit, right? Every now and then there's that one thing. It's like, this is a Christmas tree that honors abortion, or something like ridiculous that everybody wants. But
I wonder how legitimate those are. Sometimes I feel like those are created bids, you know what I mean? Like some individual who put this up for bid, sent people in with money to bid it up to a specific value so that it...
That's what I was talking about, plants.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do have to wonder about that shit, but there's no way of really knowing.
I went to one time, and there was an old piece of radio gear that I wanted. Nobody else was looking at it. So it came up, and I waited till, the third hammer of nobody bidding, and then I bid. Then all of a sudden, 4 other people decided they would bid.
I hate that.
And that told me right then and there, because nobody else even looked at the piece of equipment.
If you want to get good deals on like eBay auctions and shit, Mother's Day morning, I swear to God, for whatever reason, Mother's Day morning was the hit.
Every son on earth is now at their mom's house or at their mom's grave or sitting somewhere thinking about their mama.
Yeah, I don't know why I said I don't know why. Yeah, so Mother's Day morning, get out there and get those eBay auctions. All right, let's watch this, and then I gotta go to bed. Look at the face Homer Maxer's making. He's ready for his bukkake.
Yeah, that's insertion.
Whack their brands on
ban alcohol. Ban it today. Ban alcohol.
Yeah. So
alcohol,
the reason why, again, we've already just Max.
Ban it.
Take a few breaths.
Right?
Take a few breaths. Right.
Ban it.
So
ban
the reason, so the reason why we don't have a ban on alcohol is because people don't have psychological trauma from drinking.
But you try.
They don't end up in a loony bin. They don't end up on the whatever podcast saying that they were suicidal because they had a drink.
So okay.
You understand the difference?
Porn has been banned.
What's crazy?
The idea that people aren't damaged by drinking alcohol and so it's fine. And I'm like, no, alcohol is one of the most heinous freaking chemicals on God's green earth.
Yes,
I mean, 20% of people just can't manage themselves in its presence. That's amazing to me.
And I was cool as shit with alcohol.
Right.
And I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't feel like you're an alcoholic. He is wrong.
You get to the end stage, and that's what you want to do, is you want to kill yourself.
I don't know what the skin stage is.
End stage.
Oh, end
stage. Once you hit rock bottom, it goes one of two directions. Either you nut the fuck up and put that shit down yourself, or you don't, and it ends you. I mean, it's same thing that happens with any other chemical abuse or general abuse. I mean, anything that you do too much of is abuse. I mean, if you don't believe me, ask my wife.
Alcohol is one of the few that'll kill you if you just stop, though.
Alcohol and flow state. So think of something for old Joe to think about.
Yeah, the difference is alcohol doesn't come hunting you in the night.
Well, Flo, he done the same thing on Gen F Jack's channel. Old Joe did.
Oh, did he come back?
No.
Yeah, I don't know where he did it at, but I do. I mean, I don't expect him to be gone forever. I do expect him to be gone longer than last time. Let's see.
Because last time he quit the internet, he quit drinking. But then he picked it up.
Last time he quit the Panelverse, he was gone for like a week before he started slowly resurfacing.
He started drinking again.
Do you know that, or are you speculating?
That's what he said.
I know what.
That makes sense to me. Hold on, that makes perfect sense. You motherfuckers drive me to drinking occasionally.
I know.
Oh,
yeah, but
sure,
but me and Buck just shoot up in our dick veins. We learned it from Matt Hormaxer.
Yeah, that's where we figured it out.
And
you understand the difference?
No, you don't understand. Pornhub has been banned. X videos. How has your society been rectified? Go ahead, go.
Because you don't have women with psychological trauma from damaging themselves because it was.
I see more women with psychological trauma that have never done porn or never even look at it. They're more.
No, because they essentially didn't get paid for it. It doesn't mean they weren't whores.
When's the last time you had a stiff drink and a good flying fuck?
Yeah, because before feminism came around, sexual liberation, women were actually a lot happier because they weren't on SSRIs.
Yeah, I know the women, because you could speak for all women. Obviously, you're the arbiter.
And you speak for all women, like looking like an 80s porn. Like what are we doing here?
You have no idea what you're talking about, but you think you do. Is very interesting.
I've answered every single question here.
You haven't answered anything.
I did. Like you said, how porn is banned. We went to year zero. We hopped in time machine, went back to the year zero. Porn is banned, and I said, well, we don't have all these suicidal women because they've engaged in an act that caused psychological trauma. And then, like I said, well, women suffer from depression now more than so ever. But like I said before, feminism came along and sexual liberation. They were a lot happier.
Okay, so let's go back to the 1950s, right? That would be great, right? That's what you want, right? That's what you want.
Well,
that's what you want. Take it back to 1950, motherfucker. You wouldn't even last in 1950.
Yeah.
Weak men like you would not even last.
Weak men, yeah, because you want porn, you want to whack off the porn because you can't get laid.
Hold on, gentlemen, Finkel has paid the full 100 to give Hormaxer the full boot for the
because you can't handle the truth, Sarah. Because you can't handle any of the fucking truth.
Hey, Hormaxer, I'll come up with Bukkake to you. I'm so tired of people using the low grade explanation of for whatever happens to them. People can't handle the truth. YouTube is censoring me because of the truth, man.
I've been shadow banned because I tell the truth.
Yeah, I know. It's so obviously cringy that I don't know why people don't lack the self-awareness enough to go ahead and do it anyways.
I love
ban porn, Finkel. Go ahead tomorrow.
That's cool. I'll fill in for you.
Fuck you.
Everybody shut up. We're gonna give Hormax. We're gonna give him his final thoughts, but we love you.
Take it easy. He's gonna have a stroke.
He's full out.
That dick vein he keeps shooting up in is gonna pop one of these days.
What'd you say, Flow State? I had testosterone in my ears. I couldn't hear you.
Right?
What?
Fuck you.
Everybody shut up. We're gonna give Hormax. We're gonna give him his final thoughts.
It was a fun laugh.
We love
his
right. So fun too.
That's probably left. What'd you say?
You realized right then you were getting booted here in just a second.
Over Bukkake.
Let me read the rest of these. Finkel comes in with a big 5. Max Extreme seems angry, like those guys who never get laid.
Yeah.
Brett coming in with 5. Stay base, Chris. Love that mo. JP handing out 5 Raging Tomato memberships. Everybody say thank you, JP. That was so kind. Nephilim coming in with a big 2. Imprison Max for a few to reflect on his behavior.
He can't reflect on shit. He's too stupid.
This is true.
That dude doesn't even seem. He was the one dude that was involved in porn was the most unhinged person on the panel, and he doesn't even see that he's a walking fucking reason why it should be bad.
Well, if I can tell you real quick.
You mad?
And Chris Lestrange, of course, with the terrible interpretation take on what just happened. Let me back it up. Picked on shit. He's too stupid.
This is true.
That dude doesn't even seem. He was the one dude that was involved in porn was the most unhinged person on the panel, and he doesn't even see that he's a walking fucking reason why it should be bad.
Well, if I can tell you real quick,
are attracted to being a relationship.
See, when I did that video, it was with this older lady, and I had to actually beg a husband to let me do it with her. And
don't get paid like shit. They get like they basically do it for free to have the sex and like I don't know, a buffet catered in or some shit.
I put the video up on my own OF. You know, when OF was new, I put the video up and I got messages from her. She was like, "Take it down, it's my video." And I was like, "I will tell your kids about it if you tell me to take it down. It's my video."
It's still going.
Sarah Trippy wins.
These are actually true stories.
Brett,
So I know Terry.
Hold on, shut up. Brett coming in with a big 2. Based British bloke. Red Leg Piper coming in with a big 2. We found our degenerate for Andrew to return. I did let Andrew know, but I know he already started his new stream. But obviously, Hormaxer is now banned for the evening. So Brett also coming in with the big 5. Crazy unhinged P guy. Brett coming in again with another 2. P addict calls British bloke weak. And
Sarah, I
Red
would have roasted the shit out of him.
well, you can thank Finkel. Finkel booted him for the evening. He spoiled our fun. That's okay. I'm not complaining.
Finkel failed.
I can only handle Hormaxer for like 20 minutes max.
But Finkel, if he would you pay another 100 to bring him back if he was willing to do another shot and do his dick vein? He doesn't have to, like, he could be cammed up and just like, you know, had to do it off screen.
No.
Oh Lord, no.
making
Red
you
Leg
look pretty
Piper
good.
coming in with the big 2. I didn't know Gargamel and Steven Seagal.
Dude, he looks like a 13-year-old wank sock had sex with a fucking disco ball and he's the love child.
Oh Lord. Finkel coming in with the big 5. Did somebody say buffet? Yes, I'm actually starting to get hungry myself. Good one from this big 5.
Good thing we've got his suit right after this. Thank you, Harmon. Actually, where's my daughter and my Katie? Somebody else should be thanking you because it's explicitly not for me.
Yeah, shut
up. Oh, wake them up. Make them think.
Okay. It turns out he's in this room.
He'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with an appropriate.
Oh, there I am. Hi.
Nice.
Thank you.
Flo got good looking all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah, he did.
I'm aroused.
You can play the, you can do whatever you want. I don't know.
I don't know how to work any of this stuff.
Okay, you can't play video.
No. What are you doing, Sasquatch?
I'm trying to figure out what's on your head and how well it's attached.
It's just like a headband of.
They're like reindeer antler headband.
I guess they're actually like.
But they're not attached very well because she's got a very small, narrow head.
I do.
Have you tried staples?
No, that sounds painful.
Will it? Can you set a beer mug on top of it, Flo?
What?
A beer
Just
mug?
do your thing.
No, that's too pointy.
It would fall right off.
Need more practice.
What are you doing?
That was on.
Get it.
I don't know what he's doing with this tape, but now I'm suspicious.
You should be suspicious because your headgear is not coming off again.
No.
So,
You're on your own now. I'm tired of these motherfuckers.
yeah, she's going to take that to another room and do away with it. Never see him again.
I at least need my cigarettes.
Raffle them off. Start a raffle for those stickers.
How does that work?
I don't know. I haven't thought through the details yet.
Yeah, just figure that shit out and let you know later. Okay, let me think on it.
So people normally pick and like draw a number for a raffle?
Yeah, you can do duck races.
Duck races?
Yeah, duck races. There's this app you could run on a browser app.
Yeah.
It's just a random number generator.
When I was a kid, when I was like in preschool, I won first place at a crab race in Florida.
Why did you have crabs at such a young age?
What?
Why did you have crabs at such a young age, sir?
Why was I in a bar participating in games at such a young age? Is kind of the more appropriate, real question.
Oh, I went to the bar a lot as a kid.
Yeah, and I brought the bottle of champagne I won to preschool for show and tell.
The bars I went to, I don't think had champagne.
You can get away with that now.
No.
Wow.
All right, how are we?
I have it the froggiest. I don't.
You need the full screen now. Can't tell what it is.
It's one of those things.
We got Mario. It's a me, a Mario.
It's a me, Mario.
Who did better? I'm not even going to try to do Tupac.
Say sing Brenda's Got a Baby.
I cannot think of any of the lyrics to any of his songs.
Just
well, you're not going to make it in Black YouTube, that's for sure.
Just say the N-word.
No. I don't like that word.
Say it with a soft
either.
I don't like that word either.
No, ma'am.
Well, you're kicked out. You're kicked out of NWA.
She doesn't get it.
No, and that happens to me a lot.
Do you dye your hair, or is that natural?
Oh no, I dye it. I mean, it was blonde when I was little, like towhead blonde, but
yeah,
then it darkened up, and now I lighten it up.
Mine was almost like a really, really light yellow. It looked like artificial. It looked fake. It looked like somebody had come in and painted my head. And the older I got, the darker it got.
What?
All right. Well, you Valley girls talk about your blonde hair.
Yeah.
Harmon had a request I didn't even see. Oh wait, but I don't care because it's not for me. Wait.
The link's right there. It's literally right there. One click away.
But there is no link.
Every time Herman sends it a dono, he wants to hear that clip.
That's what I figured, but then you played the other one, and I don't know the titles of the clips.
Flow State doesn't do titles. Don't be silly. Even if I go through and title them, as soon as they get titled,
Call that one then. What's Harmon call that one? Do 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 do.
He calls it EBT because that's EBT.
Oh.
All right. Get out of here, woman.
Why?
Get back in the kitchen.
Where's my sandwich? Oh, hold on. Let me get that up on full screen. Damn it. Yeah, I might not be going to visit.
Did you get the look? She's got a pretty good.
I got the look.
Yeah, she's not. When she gets mad, she's not real articulate. I'm more the one who will yell you down, but she'll look at you.
Yeah, see,
Jordan can do both, can't she?
I'm 600 miles away, and I caught a cold chill.
Have you had the 7-Eleven cookies? Do you know about 7-Eleven cookies?
I'm aware of them. I have not had one since I was maybe 10.
They're so good.
Well, they're made by Indians. What do you expect?
Jesus, dude.
Are Indians known for their cookies?
No, he's just racist. I'm going to bed. Y'all have a lovely evening.
Me too. So is Chuck. Well, maybe not. Chuck's crazy like that.
Could be. It don't be crazy. Shit, I had a question for you. Now I forgot it. Must not have been important. Why don't you go to bed, Flo?
I'm tired. All right. Well, thanks for joining. Thank you to all you beautiful people. Let me play this. Any final words for the people, Chuck?
Everybody be good to one another.
Fuck that shit.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck